and welcome to episode 154 of Heresy Accountabilibuddies Podcast. My name is Jack, with the hosts of
Brian,
Duncan,
John,
and special guest
of Ash,
woohoo, and Dave. Before we get too far down the cycle, let's do a quick station identification. And
Do
thank
you
you
love
to
resin bases? Then go to our sponsor, Elric Hobbies, for all of your basing and basing accessory needs. Use code HERESYABB at checkout for a discount. Legendary Monument Hobbies. Monument Hobbies is a one-stop shop for all of your painting needs. Use code HERESYABB at checkout for a 5% discount on your purchase. Pop Goes the Monkey. Find maker of third-party accessory bits of arms, legs, backpacks, and more, where you can get 10% off your first order over $125 with code HERESYABB at checkout.
quick station identification. And thank you to Raid Shadow Legends. Without you, I'm kidding.
no.
I'm kidding. No
God
raids.
damn it.
It's patrons. Patrons. Thank you, patrons. Without you, none of this would be possible. Speaking of possible, Duncan, how close are we to your Ultramarines army?
We're not. The end.
Oh my God. So that means we need your help, audience. We need each and every single one of you to sign up to the Patreon and make Duncan fulfill his dream of running an Ultramarines army for all of eternity. For all of, dare I say, Adepticon, because he won't do it any more than that.
how about if we get 10 Praetor level Patreons? He has to do Ultramarine Joy Toys.
I will take it. I will play it to con, and it'll go away. That would probably be cheaper than some of the stuff I've thought about.
All right. So, before we get any further down the line, John, what have you been up to over the last couple weeks?
Okay, so luckily for Christmas, my boss decided to give me the entire week between Christmas and New Year's off. So I decided to turn into a hobby machine, and I got some stuff done. So to keep it short, I made a list. And so I started off with all the dead Marines that Jamie and friend of the show Michael had printed for me, and I got all those cleaned up. A local comic shop was running a buy two get one free, and I found this really cool Armored Core weapon set that comes with a really cool shield for my Megoses for our future thing that Duncan's going to announce this episode. I touched up that big basketball size storage tank that Avash built for me. I sanded a bunch of the terrain that had already kind of been based, re-glued all so it's not going to knock off as easy. Had some soda can terrain that was kind of floating around, so I based that and built some new supply dumps and then got those sanded. Jamie had printed me a bunch of Cities of Death banisters, and I cleaned those off during one of our Wednesday night hangouts, and then I built 5 giant bridges for all my city fight buildings. My other printer guy printed me off some Sentinel guns, some hisses for my all Sentinel army we'll be talking about this episode. And I started cleaning those off. And then one of the bases that I built was using some blind pack Star Wars containers, and I got those based and primed. And I also made some plastic card stuff to cover up the giant Star Wars logos and copyright info. I started building the Starship bridge that Jamie printed me for the photo booth for Commanders that I'm going to be debuting at Texas Open and then take it to Adepticon. I got the cargo ship that Avash built me base coated and started putting down spot colors. I had this, so when I was working on some of the terrain, I had this old Bone Age toy from the 80s that I cut up and mounted. And as part of that, I cut out some extra foam to think I was going to build more hills, and it turned out not doing that. And so I found this cool article online where this guy used background reptile, the wood you put in the background of reptile encampments, and glued all that together and started filling it in with foam and used that to kind of build this big rocky outcrop. And so started working on a big piece of terrain with that in there. I decaled all the photo booth Marines that I've been working on. I had some random broken Kickstarter buildings and some off prints from Jamie that I primed and based and then primed and then started base coating those with airbrush this week. I had some broken Halo Pelican models and some broken GI Joe toys, so I based those with some Crash Xenotech stuff, and then primed and base coated those. And then when I was cleaning out storage, I found a Fortress of Redemption and a couple Bastions, so I primed and then base coated all those, and they're ready for spot colors. Avash built me this really cool tank factory, and then I based that on a thicker piece of wood and started base coating and got some spot colors on that before we recorded. And then I had this giant C-130 toy that I sawed in half and got a local guy to print me off a new nose for a couple months ago. I got that glued together. I got it sawed up a little bit more so it's more exploded, and also based the 2 broken wings in the tail section. I got all that based, textured, and then primed. And then at Adepticon, we were given that really cool Imperator, and my parents gave me a handheld chainsaw for Christmas. And so I attacked said Imperator with a chainsaw and a bandsaw.
And now John has no more fingers.
I did not cut myself once with either of these tools.
That's a miracle right there.
Very key wording in that sentence. I cut all those pieces up. I got them all textured up to build an entire table of broken Imperator parts. I got those all based, and then I got them all primed, and then started putting base coats and other spot colors on those as well. So all in all, I think I built about 2.5 tables over 2 weeks.
And that's our probably progress as a podcast.
Wait, hold on. There's Brian.
Yeah, Brian, what'd you do?
I packed stuff in the basement, and today I helped Leroy build one of his Christmas presents, which was a rhino. And that's my hobby progress.
Nice.
I did stuff.
What did you do, Duncan?
Well, I got my laser demolisher and my Melta Predator all the way painted, other than the decals are down. I've got to seal them, and then I've got to put on the final weathering and then the next seal, and then I'm done. So, yeah. So I got stuff done too. So there, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Jack, what did you do?
I think I kicked it over to John for a quick news update.
Yeah, that's not what I figured.
Look, it's hard. I made an army list.
You did that. I appreciate that.
I've done that as well, fortunately.
While we were gone, the Siege Assault Group box set went up for pre-orders and then immediately sold out and has now come back into stock with available while stocks last. Today's preview article dropped for next week. We're getting all the cool Ultramarine goodies that we saw a while ago with Captain Titans and the Wardens of Ultramar. All the Necron crap that's been previewed, as well as all the other 500 Worlds books. A cool set of Marine heads, which has some controversy behind it. We'll steer clear of that. A cool boarding actions terrain if you want to build some Necron Tomb Worlds for your ZM action. And then we've got a new Fulcrum book coming out and a Heresy book called The Shattered and the Soulless, a new Siege of Terra book.
Yeah, I'm not really sure anything about that one.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Interesting. No special edition, I guess.
Well, I mean, okay, so it's 2 books. It's 2 short stories that were both previously published already, being combined into one actual collection. Yep. And so that's neat, but they've already put them out, so I don't really see why
they've done this before. Like, they did this with like 5 different books in the actual Heresy line, because they've repackaged like all those small books into like multiple books. So the problem I have with when they keep doing crap like this is sometimes you buy the same story like 4 times if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, that's very true.
We had some other preview articles coming up. So 40K is getting a re-release of Huron, as well as his custom command squad. So we've got the official preview for Huron, and I think unofficial previews / leaks came out for his command squad from from the most part, it looks like they're all in Mark 6 or alike armor, and so it'd be really cool to pick some of those up for your Black Shields or other cool Heresy characters.
Is he in the new scale?
Yep.
I do like their medic.
The medic is very cool.
Yeah, I think that medic is really, really awesome.
There's no official article for him yet, so.
Yeah, I know.
We had a drop of Warhammer art through the years for Custodes. So, including Sisters of Silence for some reason. Some cool artwork to look through if you want to pull up the Warcry article yourself. GW is starting a new thing called the Call to Arms. Their goal is to have 1 million miniatures painted for 2026 across all their stores. So if you go into the store, you can pledge how many models you're going to paint. If you paint 25 models, you get a water pot stand. Most people call this a coaster. If you paint 50, if you paint 25, you get a pin. If you paint 50, you get the water pot and stand. And if you paint 100 plus, you get a brush tin with space for 6 brushes.
But no brushes.
And how long do we?
No brushes.
And how long do we have to do this before?
They do not say. I think it's the full year. Starts on January 3rd.
And I'm assuming you have to buy the miniatures through the GW store?
They don't say that, but I'm pretty sure you're right. They also have bonus prizes for people that bring in friends to start the hobby.
Oh, cool.
So if you bring in one person, you get a different pin badge. And if you bring 5 people, you get a brush holder.
That's actually not a bad folder.
Yeah.
Hey, John, do you want to go around to the local GWs?
I've been thinking about it, yeah. I think you, me, and Joel and some other people can just hook up and see if we can game the system a little bit, because I think I can paint more than 25 miniatures. Black Library had their rankings for Book of the Year, and Heresy took a couple of spots on the board. So Heir of Ruin took 6th place, and Ashes of the Imperium took 5th. And then on 1st place was Dropsite Massacre.
I don't see Dropsite Massacre being the best book of the year, but sure.
Yep. Yeah, it was pointed out to me that something's really weird with their faces on this book. They're really, like, lengthwise odd. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but it seems like it's a decent book. Starforge has come out with Starforge has come out with some new pins. So we've got they're calling this the Xenos Faction pin collection. We've got the Eldar, Imperial Knights, Dark Eldar, Chaos Knights, Orcs, Necrons, Tau, Tyranids, and Squats. So they all have pins that are coming out for $13.90. No reason to give Jack a heart attack yet.
Why are Knights in Xeno?
That's kind of what I thought was weird. Same with the Votan. Technically, they're a human offshoot. And Chaos Knights would be Chaos, but they called this the Xeno collection.
Yeah, the Necron pin was cool. I'll give them that. Like,
yeah, it's a scarab, whereas all these other ones are just kind of the basic symbol you usually associate with the army. So, and Knights is just the face shield,
and it has that nice splash of color on it that none of the other ones from you flipping through seem to have. That green. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's got the green, and the claws are in a silver, while the body's in a bronzish.
Yeah. I always like Necrons.
And then they came out with the Astra Militarum field cap. For $37, you can get a field cap with a skull with wings on it. In either green or gray.
I don't recommend this for a whole bunch of people.
Oh. Duncan, you need that.
Okay, so if it fits on her head, it's definitely not going to fit on my head, because I have a massively large dome.
Is that a small child? That
is a small child.
That is an Asian woman, yes. It's a small Asian woman. They claim it's adjustable. It's 52 to 60 centimeter heads.
Oh, so if it, Duncan said.
No.
That's
probably
the
not.
problem. The problem is Starforged if y'all haven't figured it out, is based in China. A lot of their stuff does get ripped off pretty quick. So if you can find Chinese sellers, sometimes you can find their stuff a little cheaper. There's also some resellers that are advertising on Facebook a lot as fake ads. And they don't show how this hat adjusts in any of their photos. So I don't necessarily know how well this will fit on larger American domes.
But don't worry, it's good quality, finely detailed. It says so right there.
It's nice.
And then Warhammer Merch dropped some bundles. So the previously primed Joy Toy figure is now getting bundled with shirts. So you get one Joy Toy figure and one shirt for $76 US, or
Jesus Christ,
shirt and a hat for $82.
There you go, Jack. That's just a shirt and hat for you, bud.
Totally worth it.
Hard pass.
I think it's funny that they have Ultramarine Joy Toys, but the only shirts these guys come with, well, that shirt's the generic Astartes shirt, but the shirt and hat are obviously Ultramarines themed, while this guy is primed. So, kind of weird.
So what we're saying is we need to get this for Duncan whenever.
Yes.
Yes.
Nope, that's Primaris.
We missed the shirts that Duncan needed. The
No, well, we didn't miss them at all.
Ultraman.
Yeah,
But the hat though, that's a pretty nice hat.
Duncan stands with blue collared Astartes. And that,
No,
gentlemen, there isn't really any Kickstarters going on right now since it's been the holidays and everything. So that's really all the news, guys.
Okay.
Cool.
Duncan, do you want to announce our new fancy thing before we get into the meat and potatoes and I get the dogs back in the house?
Yeah, we can do that. So, all right, everybody. We all know that we do contests and we do giveaways.
We
do all kinds. We do.
We do.
We have in the past.
We have in the
probably
past?
will in the future.
We will in the future.
We have.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, we have been talking and working on something, and we have come up with a new challenge / contest for everybody who's out there listening. And it's free, absolutely free to enter. It is running basically every 2 months. We're hoping, for those of you who are interested in participating, you will start off creating a new army. One you have not got currently, that you can post pictures of. For the first 2 months, your mission is to paint 500 points of a new army. Select a new army and have it post picture of the new stuff you're going to be painting in our Discord in what will be a 2025 challenge channel that will be created after tonight. Your mission is to create a 3,000 point army and paint it somewhere between January the 4th, 2026 and Adepticon 2027. 3,000 points. Brand new army. First 2 months challenge is 500 points. You select what you're going to paint. We're not telling you what you have to paint. We're not telling you what you don't have to paint. But 500 points must be completed between January the 4th and I guess that'd be March the 4th-ish?
Yes, that's what we agreed on.
Thank you. Okay. So there you go. 500 points. For anyone posting their beginning pictures, John, you can explain that part.
Yeah, so we've kind of hashed this out behind the scenes a little bit. You do have to start from either unpainted or stripped models. So they can obviously be built, but they have to be either unpainted or stripped models at the start of each step. I'm kind of against the whole necessarily being a completely new army. It could be 3,000 point expansion to an existing army you already have, but obviously it's a new models. All of it has to be new models.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a new army. For example, Jack could go ahead and start a World Leaders army, since he does have some World Leader models at home already painted. He could expand that.
Yeah, I was going to do a Breacher army, but as I said on the Kickstarter episode or the Patreon episode that we used to kick this off, kind of see the idea. I'm going to be doing Mechanicum, and so I've pulled out all of my Myrmidons, got some extra parts printed from Andrew locally, and obviously the shield I talked about that I picked up over Christmas for some of my Magoses that I'm doing next. But my first step is going to be 500 points of Myrmidons. And so I've got them all pulled out. I've got them arrayed. So I'm going to take a picture of them all unpainted and unbuilt, and then work through the 500 points. So I'm going to be working on this with everybody else. I think all of us are at least going to try to keep up with this as long as we can.
Yeah, I'll be working on a Solar Aux army piecemeal that I put together.
Oh,
I have no intention of participating in this at this time, because I have a feeling that the minute I commit to trying to do anything, somewhere between now and the Adepticon of 27, the patron goal will hit, and then I'll be stuffed on the one thing and have to flip over to working on the Ultramarines. So I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep working on the other stuff.
Or you'd be like John and just work on everything at once.
I could be like John.
See, there's my problem is I'm wanting to take the Sentinels to Adepticon, so I've got to get this and the Sentinels finished by March, along with all these tables I'm doing for Texas Open, which is only 12 days away at time of recording.
Yep, this all sounds like stuff.
So, what are the other details? Hit me with the deets, yo. Why should I do this?
The idea for why you should do this is to bring yourself up to 3,000 points to begin with. That way you have an entire year plus to work on doing this. You can work on doing it with community members. We can all sit there and share and ooh and ah over people's cool stuff they've come up with, new ideas they've started, methods they've started branching out into painting, new things that people are working on together. And every other month, at the end of each of the 2-month blocks, we will be giving away stuff. That could be new boxes of miniatures. It could be, we could give you a Legion Astartes battle group that definitely might not be sitting over here behind me after the first 2 months. And it will be chosen from people who have started the challenge and completed the challenge they had for those 2 months.
Not counting me and John.
Not counting you, John, or myself. It is open to patrons, listeners, the public. It is not open to the hosts. At the end, when you have your 3,000 points at Adepticon 2027, there will be a judging of, and it does not have to be just people who attend Adepticon, but right around there, we'll request everybody who has completed the challenge and done their whole 3,000, and then maybe bump themselves up to 3,500 if they are going to attend Adepticon, so they can have cool stuff that is bigger to play with at the con. We would like to judge all of them together. We will then come up with the winner, and the winner will receive a Warhound Titan, full-size Warhound Titan, painted a community member Dave, not the Dave that the hosts AI nonsense thinks we have, but a good friend of the cast whose name is Dave, or David, who's out there listening, and is a cool dude who we've all known for years, and is an excellent painter of Titans. So that will be the prize at the end of all this whole thing. The grand prize winner will get a painted Warhound Titan, hopefully painted in the flavor of your choice.
Very cool. Very, very cool. What other?
And that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, no.
500 points. Then after that, 2 months later, 500 points. And then 2 months later, 500 points. All the way up until January the 4th or whatever it will be of 2027. Mm-hmm. And then you'll have from there to Adepticon 2027 to paint that last 500 point block being a Lord of War or just an expansion of your 3K army. 3,500.
Can you hop in later on in the year when you have more time?
You absolutely can.
Oh, okay.
If you don't have time the first 2 months, or you don't have time the second 2 months, but you did the first 2 months, you don't have to jump in for every section of it. But the goal and the grand prize winner will be someone who has completed a total of 3,000 points by the first recording or by DevCon 2027.
So we're doing minor giveaways at every 2 months, and then the major giveaway at the end is going to be the Warhound.
Yep, that's the major giveaway at the end. So these minor giveaways might not be quite so minor. Then again, they might be. We will see, and it will depend entirely on participation and what all gets done. But we're hoping just to encourage people to participate, paint, open themselves up to new experiences, new painting ethoses or styles, and build new armies. Have fun with your hobby. That's it. We look forward to seeing what everybody puts in.
And these are Heresy armies, not...
Yes, this is Heresy specific. This is not you're going to go paint an Orc army. This is not you're going to go paint Tau or Eldar or Dark Eldar or modern 40k armies at all. And you're not going to paint Age of Sigmar. This is...
So I can't do 3,000 points of new Antioch for Trench Crusade?
No, you can't do that either. You also can't do it for Battletech. This is purely for Heresy.
But I have so many Black Knights I want to paint.
That's nice. I'm proud of you, but you're not going to do it. But there you go, folks. There's the challenge. 2026 New Army Challenge. We look forward to seeing what everybody does.
New year, new army.
New year, new army. Who dis? And that's what I got, gentlemen. What else we got tonight?
Before we get to the meat and potatoes, we do have a giveaway for the 2-week hobby challenge.
Oh, the current one that just has ended.
Yep. So I've got all our patrons in a list. Duncan, can you give me a small number that I can click random generate a number of times on?
87.
He said small number, dickwad.
So
He
5.
never said...
One,
he never said how many.
3, 4, 5. Number 1. He won last time, so I'm going to do it again. 11.
So 7 times this time.
Michael Harness, friend of the show.
Cool.
I will get his prize out to him shortly.
Awesome. Awesome.
I think I mispronounced his last name, but he's cool, and he'll tell me that I did it wrong.
Of course. But it's okay. We'll survive.
Yep.
So, we are still going to be running the normal 2-week hobby challenge, correct?
Correct. And this is a great way to double dip if y'all really want to, because again, this 2-week hobby challenge, we had a couple people submit things but never actually finished their challenges. So if you want to do 2-week hobby challenge as part of your 2-month project, you can definitely get entered into both drawings.
Yep. And remember, this is all going to be done and sponsored by us, the Heresy Accountability Buddies. And funding for this stuff comes through this web store and the patrons. So thank you to everybody who buys a shirt or hoodie or what have you, or chips in with the patron. We appreciate it because it just lets us put more stuff out for more people to do more cool things. So, meat and potatoes.
So we had a request shortly after we released the episode before last that we hadn't covered the Solar Auxilia yet. And so we're going to put a quick pause on the Marine Legions to go ahead and cover Solar Auxilia. We're going to get as far as we can tonight. I don't think we're going to have time to go through all the things, but we definitely want to cover the main importance of a Solar Auxilia army, which is obviously how you build it. When you open the Solar Auxilia book, you'll notice that this book is broken up into a bunch of different sections that are a little different than your average Marine army. Obviously, you have your normal force organization layouts, but you've also got to take into account a couple other things. First thing that comes up is your cohort doctrine. Your cohort doctrine is going to be, think of it kind of like an old school rite of war, right? It allows you to get special rules as well as a special reaction in your army. So the first one that comes up is the Ultima Pattern Cohort. These guys usually obviously aligned with Ultramarines. Their special reaction is, their special tactica is called Coordinated Maneuvers. In each of the active player's movement, shooting, and assault phases, a single last rifle section can perform a reaction for one less reaction point. So it reduces the cost by -1 to a minimum of 0. It also gives you additional detachments. So if your army is the Ultimate Pattern Cohort Doctrine, for each infantry tertio auxiliary detachment selected as part of the army roster, you gain access to an additional infantry tertio auxiliary detachment without requiring command forces. When we get into the army itself, we'll talk about how the detachments work. Think of it kind of like the Champion and some of the other ones, where if you take a certain character, it gives you access to all other detachments. A lot of the auxiliary army is going to be built using these additional detachments, whether that's going to be selected by buying their certain command squads, as well as unlocking them in the doctrines. The next doctrine is the Solar Pattern Cohort. Their combat tactic is called Shock Assault. Models with this special rule and the Vanguard X special rule that disembark from a Dracosan do not make disordered charges, basically turning them all into assault vehicles for all your Vanguard models. Their special detachment is the Velatarius Tertio auxiliary detachments. You get an additional one of those. There's my personal favorite, the Reconnaissance Pattern Cohort. Their tactica is called Strike and Fade. Models with this special rule and the cavalry type can control objectives and can move further as part of an evade reaction. So during an evade reaction, they consider their initiative to be 5. So when they're evading, they get to move 5 inches instead of their base initiative, which I believe is 3. Their additional detachments are all in the form of the Scout Tertio auxiliary detachments. There's the Mechanized Pattern Cohort. Their tactica is called Rolling Advance. Models with this special rule may move and still benefit from the Heavy X special rule. So models with the vehicle type but not the flyer subtype in the special rule move no more than 4 inches in the movement phase and do not rush, gain the benefit. So their heavy weapons count as not moving. For them, the Armored Tertio Auxiliary Detachment is the one that you get an extra one of. There's also the Siege Pattern Cohort. Their tactic is called Ceaseless Bombardment. Models with this special rule improve the value of pinning X by +1. And then their additional detachments come in the form of the Artillery Tertio Auxiliary Detachment. Finally, there's the Iron Pattern Cohort. Their special tactica is called Iron Over Flesh. Every model in the last rifle section gains Expendable 1 special rule. Their detachments are a little different in that units to be selected from an army list, which is different, to be used to fill the primary or allied or apex detachment with their length. The Iron Tertio Auxiliary Detachment allows units to be selected from an army list which is different than that used to fill the primary, allied, or apex detachments with their link. This rule overrides restrictions. They have a special auxiliary detachment that includes a heavy assault, a troop, and a support. Heavy assault slots in this detachment may only be able to select Castellac Destructor Maniples. Troops may only be able to select Tech Priests, and support slots must select Castellac's Battle Maniples or Thalax Cohort C. Liber Mechanicum. And then they selected as part of this detachment, replace their Mechanicum, Cybernetica, or Reductor trait with the Iron Tertio faction trait. And then units selected as part of this detachment, which contain both one or more Tech Priests and one or more models with the Automata type, may hold, control, and contest objectives. So it actually allows them to score. There are also special Solar Auxilia auxiliary detachments. So the Velatarius Tertio If you select a Velatari's command section to fill the command force organization slot, then the player can obviously select this Velatari's Tertio detachment to the army. This is really the way that you're going to be kind of building your army list. So when you buy these special command sections in the army list, you unlock each one of these additional auxiliary detachments. It's going to be themed around whatever your choices are. The Velatari's Tertio obviously is themed around taking more Velatari's units, and you even get a prime slot for your elite section, and then a normal elite selection, a support, and then 2 heavy transports. Elite slots in this may only be used to buy Velatari's Storm sections or Velatari's Vanguard support sections. And then you can use the support slots to buy Hermes Velatari's squadron units. And then the infantry tertio, when you buy the line command section, you get access to this auxiliary detachment, which includes a prime troop, a normal troop, a recon, and then 2 heavy transports. And the troops in this may only be able to select last rifle sections. Recons can select only Hermes light sentinel squadrons. The other thing that you have to take into account when you're building your army is the scrolling.
Keep those doggies scrolling. Get those doggies scrolling. Scroll hard.
Is the designation. This is going to be how the army is aligned to which legion they usually deployed with. So it allows you to kind of theme your army around the specific legion that you might have been with. Before we get into that...
And what page is that on?
Go ahead.
What page is that on?
That starts on 70.
70, okay.
Before we get there, Avash, we brought you on because you play Solar Aux a lot more than I do. What specific cohorts do you usually use?
I use the most exclusively right now the Velatari Tertio cohort. So I kind of, with that, is I take a Velatari command. I get not only the auxiliary detachment, it also allows me to get a second one. So I'm really able to fill out more of my slots with just Velatari, whether that's 20 man, 10 mans. Right now, kind of my variational list is kind of elite, tank, elites with tanks. So.
Well, and like I said, I usually take the recon because it allows me to take 2 recon detachments for every 1 command detachment that I'm taking. When we look at the specific doctrines themselves, again, this is kind of what legion you're going to be aligning to. So there's going to be 18 of these. So it depends on which legion you want to align with. The first one, obviously the best one, the Ultramar High Guard. It's intended to represent cohorts bonded to the 13th Legion. Each one of these allows you to have a special reaction. So the Ultramarines reaction allows the reactive player to make a shooting attack against a charging unit and potentially causes that charge to become disordered. So the unit that's being charged at least another unit with at least 1 model within 12 inches of the target unit that can also draw line of sight to the target unit. The reacting unit must be under the reactive player control. So it allows any unit that can see the charged unit within 12 inches to shoot at the enemy models. And then after resolving said shooting attack, the active player proceeds to step 3 of that charge as normal, unless the target unit's charge is now a disordered charge, in which case the player will resolve step 4 of the charge procedure instead. And it can become a disordered charge if you inflict 1 or more successful wounds on the target unit. If you wound them at all, they immediately become a disordered charge. So you can completely remove their step up and everything like that if you shoot them.
And mind you, depending on the auxiliate, it does replace one of your standard reactions.
Yep.
So I with the 13th, if you take it, you can never make a reposition reaction for any of your units.
Wait, say that again?
So for the Ultra High Guard, if you
Yeah.
choose that as your Auxilia detachment,
Yeah.
it says here you may never declare a reposition reaction for any models with a Solar Auxilia trait.
Okay. That's all right. Not the one I was thinking about anyway, but okay.
Well, another one is like the Nostraman Dominati. For their reaction, essentially replaces Fitz bayonets.
Also, not really the one I'm looking at myself. If I
Which
were to
one are
play
you-
Solar Aux.
Well, fair.
So
Duncan,
next,
do we know that the Ultramar one is the one you're going to take?
No, it will not be.
Yeah, it is. It's already been determined.
yeah, you might as well just change all your armies to some type of Ultramarine theming. So if you go Mechanicum, I'm sure we'll find something in there that's Ultramarines related. There's an Ultramarines related Night House we can get you in.
Hey, man, I think I even have all those is it House Terran? Tyron? For Night House? They have those shoulder pads if you need them, Duncan.
Yep, I've got the decals
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah, it's really nice of you to have all that. I
Yep.
will
His
post on our
future Titan
YouTube
Legion.
channel. I will post on our YouTube of all that stuff being gathered up into one place, put into a metal bucket, and set on fire.
His future Titan Legion will be House Presagius or whatever.
That can be arranged. I might know somebody that has STLs for certain large objects.
No,
Yes.
I'm just
Yes,
gonna go
I
with
do.
no. I know you do.
I love this.
By the way, hi, everybody.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. So the next one is the Barbarin Amboxidae. These guys were aligned with the Death Guard. So they lose the reposition reaction, but they gain the Outlast reaction. This reaction allows the reactive player to prevent a unit from needing to make a panic check due to suffering casualties in the shooting phase, allowing it to perform a snapshot shooting attack.
So there are some of these Solar Auxiliary legions that would really suck being aligned to certain Marine legions. Like, I would think them, the Death Guard, and the Iron Warriors ones probably. I don't know how you could be more chaffed than the actual Marines would be, but you know.
Right?
mean-
Well, the next one is probably also a bad one, as Avash mentioned, the Nostraman
Yeah.
Damnati. Obviously, these guys worked with the Night Lords. They lose fixed bayonets, but they gain combat haste. This reaction allows the reactive player to ignore the effects of a failed panic check in the shooting phase, and instead they gain the heedless and impact attacks special rules for the rest of the battle.
Yep, that's a great one.
The
I mean, that'd be kind of good on a Velatari squad.
I mean, it was-
Here I am with my 3 attacks.
Yeah.
the Inuit Phalangites. Where are these names? They lose access to reposition reaction, but they gain steadfast bulwark. This reaction allows the reactive player to increase the toughness of a unit targeted by a shooting attack if the targeted unit is in cover. Downside is the unit must be composed entirely of units with the infantry type without bulky X special rule, and of which the majority can claim a cover save when the reaction is declared.
Hey, now we're all T4, so you're still killing us.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can't give it to Ogrins or Sentinels or anything like that. The Seclid Thorica Knights. These guys are the Iron Warrior ones. They cannot do the evade advanced reaction, but they gain Weather the Storm. This reaction allows the reactive player to ignore the effects of a failed pinning, suppressive, or stun check. Sithonian Headhunters. They lose form ranks at advanced reaction and gain War Master's Spite. This advanced reaction allows a unit nearby allies to move towards the enemy units when it makes a fallback move.
Yep. So a unit within 18 of them move towards the enemy that's falling back. And then all your units within 12 inches of that unit get to move again using their initiative.
Yep.
Seems kind of neat if you've got the enemy cornered, and then you can, or they've broken into your lines, and you get them to break. Being able to reposition everyone so you have clear line of sight to shooting, or to basically clean up whatever they've destroyed before and allow you to get basically away from other threats. It's kind of nice, but
yeah, and it's one of the few I've seen that actually says it's performed in the route subphase.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
Another interesting one is the Carbonite Jaeger's Auxiliary. So if your unit is ever charged by the Automata, Malefic, or the Bolti, add special rule where value is at least 3. You declare the reaction, and you get to any models with the detonation special rule. Ignore the usual restrictions.
Okay. So, I mean, if you're loading up with melta bombs, you get to use those. And then crack grenades being almost everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you do not have any of those weapons, you cannot declare an attack for that reaction.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. Oh, let me try to pop your big guy real quick before I die. Because you play Solar Odds, and that's what happens when you play Solar Odds.
Yep.
Yeah, and you still have that Solar Aux weapon skill, so you never know how it's going to go.
I mean, weapon skill 4, depending on the unit.
Yeah, most of the units in the army aren't terrible because they are, at least the Velatari are somewhat trained, so they're usually weapon skill 4. Most of the basic infantry are going to be weapon skill 3, along with the Sentinels. Okay. So the Proximan Sacramenti are the ones aligned with Salamanders. They can never make an evade advanced reaction, but they gain dutiful endurance. This reaction allows the reactive player to make feel no pain damage mitigation rolls for a friendly unit at the expense of gaining the pin status. The downside, though, is that it has to be an infantry unit without the bulky special rule again. The Prosperine Spire Guard, they lose form ranks, but gain Psi Shock. This reaction allows the reactive player to inflict the warp rupture result from the perils of the warp table on both a friendly unit and an enemy unit, which has inflicted enough casualties on it in the shooting phase to trigger a panic check. So if you take a panic check, you can nuke yourself and an enemy at the same time.
That just seems absurd and funny.
Yeah, again, must be an infantry unit without bulky.
Yeah.
So you're going to notice that over and over and over again. With the Ultramarine one, doesn't have that restriction, which is why I chose it for the recon, because all my stuff has the cavalry type. The Chigoran Lamentii can never use fire support advanced reaction, but gain chosen ground. This reaction allows the reactive player to ignore the effect of a failed panic check in the assault phase and instead apply the hold aftermath option to a unit within 3 inches of an objective.
Ooh. Okay.
It also has no cost as a reaction.
And you use it when they've failed their panic check during assault, right?
Once the chosen ground advance reaction has been declared, the reactive player must discard the routed tactical status that would be gained by all models in the reacting unit. The battle immediately proceeds to the aftermath step of the resolution subphase, and the reacting player must declare the hold aftermath option for the reacting unit. Yep. Once the reacting player has declared the hold option for the reacting unit, the rest of the aftermath step proceeds as normal.
Bad at all. I mean, you basically lose routed and just sit there.
Yeah, you just hold the objective and gain your points.
Yeah. That's not bad at all. Who's next?
So Vash mentioned the Spitari Vindicta. These guys lose form ranks, advanced reaction, but gain...
And who are they with?
The 20th?
Oh, yeah, Alpha Legion.
Yep.
Okay.
This reaction allows the reactive player to force a shooting attack declared by the active player to target a unit with the infantry type and Solar Auxilia trait if the shooting reaction fails a cool check. So basically you swap their targets.
Okay. So you could basically make, like, someone's last cannon heavy weapon team or sun killers or whatever shoot your dudes instead of your tank.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's not bad at all. And
Yep.
fits with the Alpha Legion. Okay.
But you also can't use it on, oh, hey, my tank's being shot, throw it at the Eldrin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they'll say,
'Cause
Again, it can't
bulky.
target. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The
Okay.
Archerite Palatines. These are with the 3rd Legion. They lose fire support, but gain redouble. This reaction allows the unit and nearby allies to perform a move after it succeeds on a check to avoid gaining tactical statuses in the active player's shooting phase. So if you would, again, infantry without bulky, if you're required to make a cool or leadership test when testing to see if you gain a tactical status, instead you spend a point and
you move a
the
number
reactive
inch.
player may make a standard move with the reacting unit following all the normal rules for movement, but may not choose to rush. And then you can choose another unit to move as well.
Okay, so
You
get
shoot me, I'm going to take a status. I say no. I'm instead going to move that unit and another infantry unit within 12
Forward.
inches forward.
Okay,
It's great
it
for
just sounds like shoot me more, Daddy, is what it sounds like.
Well, it's also good for like pushing on an objective.
Yeah, it's kind of funny the way it works, but yeah, I mean that's definitely a thing.
Because you got to think this. You don't care about the bodies. You've got to get that out of your head as a
Yeah,
Aux
no, I
player.
get that.
You just got to take the objective.
Yeah, no, I'm getting it.
Here's my beautifully painted army, and then now I'm taking half of it off.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's
turn
about
one.
right.
The Frenusian Carols. They lose the fire support advanced reaction, but gain the Hunter Strike. This advanced reaction allows a unit to charge an enemy unit moving into play from reserves. So if someone is outflanking or coming in from reserves, an infantry unit without the bulky special rule can charge them.
No charging with your Ogrins, but you can sit there and throw Valtyrus at it.
Yep.
Well, it
That's
does say
interesting.
without the bulky add special rule.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
so
an
like I said,
infantry without. So if here come deep striking Justarin, have a bunch of axe guys before you can do anything.
yeah. It's interesting. That could definitely be fun.
Colchizian Torquati.
Which one is the one?
The 17th Legion.
Yeah.
They lose evade, but gain undying fanaticism. This reaction allows the reactive player to make attacks with a unit when its last model is removed as a casualty while locked in combat.
Okay.
So when the final model in a unit under
you
the
kill your
reactive
sergeant
player's
who has-
control.
Sergeants have power fists?
You can give him Power Fist.
Well, basically, when you remove your sergeant at the end of it, or you remove your commander at the end of it, or what have you, and you've got a power fist or a thunderhammer, lets you go from hell's hard ice strike at the and smack him one last time.
Pretty
Yep.
much, yeah. So you get resolving an initiative step sequence, making its attacks at this step regardless of its actual initiative, but replaces the reacting model's attacks characteristics with the number of enemy models remaining in the combat. So you get to punch a lot.
Oh wow! Okay, neat. All right.
The Therian You what?
So Duncan's eyes light up.
Yeah. The
I'm just
Therian
thinking of the possibilities
Velites.
there.
So this is the Raven Guard guys. They lose access to the form ranks advanced reaction but gain displacement. This reaction allows the reacting unit to move up to its initiative characteristics and make a volley attack targeting a unit that makes a charge. So you're going to charge me. Instead, I'm going to step up and shoot you.
Do they have to step up, or could they step back?
They could step back. Then the unit then makes a volley attack with the reacting unit, with every model in the reacting unit gaining the assault trait on any ranged weapons they have for the duration of this displacement reaction.
Okay.
I could see in some places where that could be useful.
Yep.
It seems very Towish.
Again, infantry without bulky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
No
like
immigrants.
it's like las rifle companies in mass.
Or Velatari.
Military.
Sapien Elevati for the 9th Legion. They lose counter assault advanced reaction, but they gain counter assault advanced reaction, but they lose reposition. So counter assault is this reaction allows the reacting unit to make a charge against an enemy unit that moves within its range. So if you move within 6 inches and in line of sight, you can be charged by an infantry unit without bulky.
So I charge you instead of you charging me, essentially.
Before you even get to shoot me, I charge you.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Medusan Chain Shroud. They lose evade, but gain cerebral augments. This reaction allows one of the reactive player's units to suffer D3 wounds and discard the Routus status when it fails a panic check in the shooting or assault phases.
Dude's dying instead of getting routed. Yep. Nope. I dig that.
Yep. Again, infantry without bulky.
Yeah.
So no shooting Ogrins to make them get back in the fight. And then the Nagrital Thoraxi, along with the 12th, they lose fire support and gain Butcher's Due. This reaction allows the reacting unit to make a shooting attack targeting an enemy unit that performs a disengage or fallback aftermath in the assault phase.
Yes. This is the one that I like. So
someone falls back.
And
You have another unit just light them up. Yep.
Yep, I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. I think it's
this one
also
just
very
says-
unlikely that you're going to win combat with these guys. But
Yeah, but
working,
this can
using them as
target-
an ally, that's awesome.
It also doesn't have to be an infantry unit that shoots them. It just says the reacting unit must have at least one model with line of sight to the enemy unit. Once it's completed its movement, it must be a unit under the reactive player's control and composed entirely of models with the Solar Auxilia trait, not locked in combat.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh, that opens up a whole lot right there.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
can use these as allies, and then when the World Eaters kill or break something in combat, you can shoot that whatever is running away with your Lehman Russ tanks or your Malkador tanks.
Or if you have a
your
basilisk, you
Yeah.
just everything under the rainbow.
Yep.
The Calibanite
It's so good.
Jaegers with the First Legion. They lose bring it down advanced reaction. Or sorry, they gain bring it down advanced reaction, but lose fixed bayonets.
we
Bring it
talked about that one.
down. Yeah, we did. But it just allows you to use detonation weapons.
Okay.
And that's all the legions.
Okay.
Since we've talked about the reactions you lose, we should probably go over those. As well as their gambits. So their gambits first.
What page is that on, Cal?
Gambits start on 106. And the reactions are right after that. So gambits, they have access to Contemptuous Volley. This gambit allows a model in a challenge to make a shooting attack with a pistol against the enemy model. When this gambit is selected, controlling player may immediately make a single shooting attack for the model with this gambit, selecting one of the model's weapons, which has the pistol special rule to make the shooting attack. The shooting attack must target unit which contains the enemy model in the challenge, and the wounds from the shooting attack may only be allocated to the enemy in the challenge. If the shooting attack would cause the enemy model in the challenge to be removed as a casualty, the challenge immediately proceeds to the glory step.
Okay. So you shoot the dude rather than fight him.
Right.
Yep.
But you do it faster than initiative.
I can dig that.
So advanced reactions. First, we've got form ranks. This reaction allows the reactive player to move the models in an infantry unit into base contact with each other, granting an invulnerable save.
Not too bad.
So targeting an infantry unit without bulky. Once the reacting unit has completed this move, you move your base value of its initiative characteristic. You have to be in base contact at the end of this move with at least 2 other models. At the end of that, you gain a 5-up invulnerable save against any shooting attacks for the remainder of the active player's turn. There's also fire support. This reaction allows the reacting player to move a unit away from a unit targeting it with a shooting attack and shoot back with another unit equipped with barrage weapons. So another one that says you have to target an infantry unit without bulky. The reacting player or the reacting unit may be moved a number of inches equal to their initiative characteristics and must end their movement in coherency. And then you pick a friendly model with the Solar Auxilia trait with a weapon with Barrage X special rule within 12 inches of them and shoot the enemy. If it's a vehicle, you may pivot before shooting. Fixed bayonets. This reaction allows the reactive player to make attacks with bayonets against a charging unit. So after you're charged, the reacting player weapon and for each one.
Looks like you attack before they do.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Once this cost has been paid, the reactive player must select one weapon with the bayonet trait for each model in the reacting unit to make attacks with models that do not have any weapons with this trait cannot make attacks. The reactive player resolves this. Steps 3 through 10 of the resolving initiative step sequence for the reacting unit with each model.
So basically, you stick with bayonets at the beginning of the fight before they get to it, before anyone else gets to act.
Yeah.
And these
So
don't
they
count
actually
attacks.
Yeah, so they actually get a decent use for the action for the bayonet rule.
Yeah, so you still get your regular attacks, and anybody you kill with these gets counted
as
for
being
the resolution, and you
Yep.
still get to attack again. That actually makes bayonets useful.
Yep. And it's only 1 point. So yeah. And then they get access to smokescreen, which, like everyone else's smokescreen, this reaction allows the reactive player to gain shrouded damage mitigation rolls for a model with the smokescreen trait.
Yeah. That makes me have to rethink this list that I have.
So if you do it with the Ultima pattern cohort, you can make that free.
Yep.
For infantry unit. So just use standard las rifle sections.
Okay.
All right. How are we doing on time, Jack?
We are at a hour 4 minutes in right now, so we're good to go for some more.
All right. Let's cover some of the basic book units. Legacies has a crap ton, but let's just do the high command and commands tonight. So when you're starting your army, probably best to start with the high command units with your Legatine command squad. For 125 points, you get a marshal and 4 life wards. You can select 5 additional life wards for 14 points a model. These guys are all movement 6. Life wards are weapon skill, ballistic skill 4, while the marshal is weapon skill and ballistic skill 5. Everybody's strength and toughness 3. 2 wounds on the wards, 4 on the marshal. Everybody's initiative 4, 2 attacks on the wards, 4 on the marshal. The wards are leadership and cool 8, willpower and intelligence 6 with a 3 up, 5 up. The marshal is leadership 10, cool 8, willpower and intelligence 7 with a 2 up, 5 up. These guys have line 2. They come with las rifles on the wards, and the marshal has a las pistol and a charmball saber and frag and crack grenades. The marshal can swap his saber for a thunder hammer or a paragon blade for 10 points, or any of the auxiliary melee weapons. The marshal can take an Archaeotech pistol or an Inferno pistol for 10, or any of the auxiliary pistols. The life wards can swap their las rifles to las pistol and charmball saber for free. If they do that, they can take any of the auxiliary melee weapons. They can also take auxiliary pistols. If they don't do that, then they can take bayonets for a point or blast chargers for a point. You can have a command vox for the unit and an augury scanner for the unit. Those are 10 points. And then 1 life ward of the unit can have a auxilia vexilla or a cohorts vexilla. The auxiliary vexilla is 5 and the cohorts vexilla is 15. And then the unit can have melt the bombs for 1 model can have melt the bombs for 10 points. That's what's going to allow you to obviously select the apex attachments and things. Where it comes to how you're going to set up your army is mainly going to come into the other command sections. So the tactical command section is 100 points for a captain and 4 companions, with 5 additional companions at 12 points apiece. These guys are all weapon skill and ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 3, 2 wounds on the companions, 3 on the captain, 2 attacks on the companions, 3 on the captain. Companions have a 4 up, 5 up, and the captain has a 3 up, 5 up. They're line 1, and officer line 2 on the captain. They have access to pretty much a lot of the same weapons choices as the marshal, except you don't get access to the paragon blade. So you've got access to the thunder hammer, access to the pistol list, access to the companions can swap to las pistol or charmball saber for free.
And the pistols we have access to are the blast pistol for 3 points, needle pistol for 5, Voltite Serpentis for 5, hand flamers for 5, and plasma pistols also for 5.
So we mentioned Voxes a little bit. Unlike Marines, where you have to buy the Vox for the unit and you're just happy, on these guys you have to buy a command Vox for whatever command section you have, and then you have to buy a Vox for the las rifle or whatever other section you're buying Voxes for. So it's a little more points intensive to get those free checks at the end, at the beginning of the phases. They also have access to auxiliary or cohorts of Exillas at the same points cost as before. Line command section is 1 troop master and 4 veterans for 65, and 5 additional veterans for 7 points apiece. These guys are weapon skill 3 for the basic veterans, the masters 4, ballistic skill 4 on both, strength and toughness 3, wounds 1 on the veterans, 2 on the troop master. They have a special rule called Close Order. And Close Order is models with this special rule increase the value of the Line X special rule for all nearby friendly units with the Infantry Tertio trait. So if a model with the Infantry Tertio trait and the infantry type can draw line of sight to 1 or more friendly models with this special rule that are within 18 inches, then that model and any other models in the unit add +1 to their line. So if he's close by someone holding objective, they get better line.
They go from line 1 to line 2 on your las rifle sections.
Yep. They get access to a lot of the same weapons we've seen before. 1 Thunderhammer for the master, and Charm Ball Sabers available for the basic guys. Access to the basic pistols, to bayonets and blast chargers. Command Vox for 10, Augury Scanner for 10. They only get access to the normal Vexilla for 5. And they can have Melta Bombs for 10. And then the next one is the Velataris command section. 1 Prime and 4 Velatari for 75. And 5 additional Velatari for 8 points apiece. These guys are weapon skill and ballistic skill 4. 2 attacks on the Velatari, 3 on the Prime. They come stock with Volkite Chargers and Vanguard 3. They can swap their Volkite Chargers to Charm Ball Sabers. Master can buy a Thunderhammer for 10. Their special rule is called Hold the Line. Models with this special rule provide a Feel No Pain damage mitigation roll to nearby models with the Velatarius Tertio trait against volley and reaction attacks. So if they're within 18 inches of a Velatarius Tertio, they gain Feel No Pain 5 up.
Against reactions or volleys.
Yep. So when you're looking at these, remember we mentioned earlier about those auxiliary detachments? So the tactical command section allows you to take more line guys. The line command section allows you to take more las rifle units. The Velatarius command section allows you to take more Velatari units. Then there's the Hermes command sentinel section, which allows you to take more sentinels. For 75 points, you get 1 Hermes lead and 1 Hermes Pathfinder, with the 4 additional Hermes Pathfinders for 18 points a model. Movement 10, weapon skill 3 on the bases, 4 on the lead, ballistic skill 4 on both, strength and toughness 5, 2 wounds on the basics, 3 on the commander. They come stock with a multi-laser and frag and crack grenades. They're bulky 2, implacable advance, move through cover, outflank. And they have a special rule called Preemptive Strike. Models with a special rule confer the Firestorm ability to all nearby models with the Scout Tertio trait, which is going to be all the sentinels you get as part of their stuff. They can swap their multi-lasers to either a Volkite Caliver for free, a Heavy Flamer for 3 points, or a Hermes Grenade Launcher for 5. Hermes Grenade Launcher can shoot frag or crack missiles. Grenades. Frag grenades are 18 inches, 1 shot, strength 3, AP 6, damage 1 with a 3-inch blast and stun 1. The crack grenade is firepower 2, strength 7, AP 4, damage 2.
And the Firestorm rule, just to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, is I can shoot whatever weapon I want with no penalty.
During the, believe it's during the step up, yes. So models may make volley attacks with full ballistic skill And also immediately in charges without rolling charge dice or resulting penalties of failure. So you can do your volley attacks and choose not to charge.
Okay.
You've also got the artillery command section. This is 1 ordnance master and 4 veterans for 65, 5 additional veterans for 7 points. These are the guys that allow you to take extra support squads or ordnance weapons or artillery sections. Weapon skill 3 on the veterans, 4 on the ordnance master, ballistic skill 4 on both. They have access to pretty much all the same things we've been reading for every command section, whereas their special rule is called Precision Bombardment. Models with this special rule decrease the scatter distance of shooting attacks made by nearby models with the Artillery Tertio trait. So if a unit is within 18 inches of this guy, the ballistic skill characteristics of the attacking model is subtracted from the total distance of the dice rolled when determining a scatter distance. So they bring back in the old decreasing barrage scatter.
Yeah.
So you're noticing a trend here, whereas every one of these guys kind of unlocks a special detachment, but they also have special rules that help out said detachment.
I'm kind of following here.
Yeah, and then we're going to break it. The armored command section isn't a squad. It's a tank.
Which made me very happy.
Yep. It's a command section for 150 points. You get a Russ.
You get a rush.
Leaving Russ the tank, not leaving Russ the Primarch.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, I'd rather have the tank.
So for 150 points, you get a ballistic skill 4 battle cannon mounted Russ with a hull heavy bolter.
Can you upgrade the battle cannon, or does it have
You
to stay?
can, yeah. He can take a Gravis autocannon for free, a twin last cannon for free, a Vanquisher cannon, and a coaxial heavy stubber for 10 points, Demolisher cannon for 30, Plasma destroyer for 25, or a Volkite macro saber for free.
He gets all the options you would get on either of the other 2 Lehman Russ variants.
Yep.
Correct.
So it's not like just locked as a plain Jane Lehman Russ.
Yep.
Yep.
And he also comes with the special rule Armored Warfare. Models with the special rule provide auto repair 4-up to tanks within 18 inches. And he comes with it as well.
All tanks, period.
If they have the Armor Tertio's trait.
Yep.
So
So
you
we
don't get it, just your
When
Lehman
you-
Russes. Not
Just the Lehman Russes that are bought as the detachments that he's part of. So when you buy the detachments, each one of them is gaining special traits. We're not reading the traits that come along with these. Every one of these guys has trait, and then brackets allegiance, and then that allegiance gets replaced with what they have as their special rule. So the detachments that come along with let's say the artillery detachment, every one of those has the artillery tertio trait. And so every one of those artillery tertios gains the special rule if they're within 18 inches of the artillery command squad. You don't have to tie commanders to certain detachments. They can benefit any detachment, but they have to be chosen as part of the artillery detachment. Does that make sense?
It does.
So when you buy the artillery tertio, you get 3 support choices. They can be rapiers, basilisks, or medusas, or any of the other things that are in the legacy stock. But if you take the support squad, if you take a rapier that's part of your basic detachment, they don't gain the same bonuses that the artillery master gives out.
Okay, I'm following now.
One thing the Armored Command section can also take is a Flare Shield for 20 points. So you get to stop Armor Bane from happening to all your Lehman Russes. For him, not any others.
Okay, so
That is all of the command sections in the basic book. Legacies brought us Surgeon Primus Joven. You get one Joven and one Auto Gurney for 50 points. This is a special character. He gets up to 2 Orderlies for 10 points. Everybody's movement 6. The Orderlies are weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3. The Auto Gurney is weapon skill 1 with no ballistic skill because it ain't got no guns. And Joven is weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2. Joven comes with a melee weapon called the Phase Lancet. He gets a +1 initiative modifier, bringing him to initiative 4 in combat. His one attack is going to be strength +2, so he's strength 5, AP 3, damage 2 with a rending 6 up. And he gives out medic 4 up. And then he comes with a docket of other special rules. One of them's called Surgical Suite. It's on the Gurney. A model with this special rule allows recovery tests to be made in the morale subphase, but is automatically removed as a casualty if it's ever the only model in the unit. So it allows you to take recovery tests at -2 to result characteristic check. Only one recovery test to be made for each unit this way during each morale subphase. And then they also come with, the Orderlies come with the Triage special rule. Models with this special rule can give a version of Expendable X to Solar Auxilia units. Where X is the number of models with the Triage special rule in this unit. So you can have up to Expendable 2. Okay. So he allows you to not care about sacrificing your guys, and then obviously the Gurney can help heal people.
He also is only for the loyalist.
Yep. Then there's the Expeditionary Navigator for 65 points. You get 1 Navigator. Movement 6, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2, strength and toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 3, 1 attack, with a 6 up, 5 up, leadership 7, cool 6, willpower 9, intelligence 6. Comes with a las pistol and an Aether Labe staff, which says units may not deep strike within 8 inches of a model with this staff.
You shall not pass.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Yep. And then his special rules called Navigator's Arts. A model with this special rule has a specific psychic discipline. You get the Lidless Stare and the Navis Astrologian trait. The Lidless Stare is a psychic weapon. It's a flamethrower. 1 shot, strength 2, AP 3, damage 1. If you want to force it, you can increase the damage, and it causes panic 1.
Okay. I mean,
it's a good way to stop you from being immediately destroyed by deep strikers, which is kind of one of the things that Auxilia kind of has a trouble with, is once you start rolling, you kind of get rolled up pretty quick.
It's the old Tau syndrome, where once you got into their line, you just go unit to unit, across.
Yeah,
you
just
never got out of
unit, yeah.
So, yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, and he can be taken by either loyalists or traitors. If you're going straight traitor, you get access to the Davenite Lodge Priest for 60 points. Movement 6, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill and strength and toughness 3. He's got 2 wounds, initiative 3, 2 attacks, leadership 7, cool 6, willpower 9, intelligence 6, a 5 up, 6 up. He's got a hand flamer and a Davenite blade. Initiative +1. Basic attacks, basic strength, no AP, damage 1, but it's poison 5 up. And his special rule is called Ritual Healing. A model with this special rule has the Resurrection Psychic Reaction from a Thaumaturgy Psychic Discipline, which you can look that up if you choose to use this guy.
Basically, he heals a model a turn.
Yep.
Brings it back to that.
The last thing that Legacy's added that's kind of command adjacent is they added their only retinue, which is the companion section. You get 1 auxiliary adjutant and 4 companions for 80 points, and then you can take 5 additional companions for 12 points. These guys are all weapon skill and ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 3, 2 wounds, initiative 4 with 2 attacks. They come with las rifles, can take and frag and crack grenades. They can swap their las rifles for bolters, volkite chargers, flamers, grenade launchers, plasma guns, rotor cannons, or melta-guns.
Everything.
Or they can swap them for charm ball sabers and las pistols. And if they do that, then they get access to all the melee weapons list. They can have a Vox interlock selected for 5 points. They can have an auxiliary Vexilla for 5, an augury scanner for 10, and one of them can have a melta bomb for 10. So it's basically the old companions before could take all the special weapons, and it's just bringing that back as a retinue, since the retinues are now built into units.
Yep.
Okay. There's a lot to these guys.
Yes.
And
Yes, sir.
it's not just that there's a lot to them. They're greater than the sum of their parts, because you've got to keep the types together with their command sections to get the bigger bonuses.
So, for example, you'd have to keep, if you had the Lehman Russ command tank, you'd have to keep him with other Lehman Russes so that the other Lehman Russes could then get his bonus.
Not just the other Lehman Russes. You have to keep them with the Lehman Russes that you're taking as part of an auxiliary armored tertio. So if you're just buying Russes as part of your basic detachment, he can't bonus them. He can only bonus his buddies.
Okay.
I found a way around this, though.
Oh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank God. I feel so much better about that.
You're not going to like it, but I found a way around it.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. All right, hold on. Before we go too much
Hold on,
further,
is he going to cause a new meme army to be created?
I have a bad feeling about Brian just being Brian
I
in general.
do too.
Don't worry. It's 2026. I'm no longer going to pick on the French. I've changed targets.
Okay.
Okay.
So, as part of this, each of us has created a list, right?
I have.
Some have.
I have.
I'm not going to ask for a show of hands because that really wouldn't fit. How many of us didn't fill their list with as many Lehman Russes as possible? I know I certainly did.
I didn't, because I took all Sentinels.
Yeah, I was going to say, John took a list that was literally maxed out of every one thing. That's the way he always does it.
Okay.
I mean, in my list I'm running, I have 2 tank commanders and 3 normal Lehman Russes.
Yeah, but how many, like, Malcadors do you have?
None.
Wow. Okay.
Jack, how about you?
I don't have as many as I could have.
So you only have, like, 11?
Well,
my list has 9.
Well, I wanted, like, there was other pretty things.
I got y'all beat.
I'm not even going to pretend I'm surprised.
Oh my gosh.
My list has 9 Lehman Russes. But because I'm also me, I also included 2 Dracosans so I could have their demolisher cannons as well.
Oh, yes. You got to have the flex pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack, how many Lehman Russes did you include?
8, but I also have what's the transport? Aru transports. Got 5 of those.
Aurochs?
There we go. I had no, not the Arvis, because that's no.
The Dracosan?
The Aurochs transport? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the legacy one. The ones that are like a little rhino, but not a rhino.
Yeah, it's like a 6x6.
Yeah, yeah. A destroyer tank hunter, because the model's just cool. Valdor tank hunter, because I already have that done, like over assembled. And then I added a lightning and a thunderbolt fighter because I thought that would look cool on the display board. And I have them over there already.
And this is a 3K list?
And maybe a storm hammer super heavy assault tank.
There we go.
And this is the 3K list, right?
2,995 points. So I still have another 5 points to play with.
So what you mean is you have a dozen weight don't want to leave the rest. Okay.
All right. You want to hear my nonsense?
Yes.
Sure.
I have 15 Lehman Russes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
God.
Yep.
4 Aurochs. 4 10-man line infantry squads to go on said Aurochs. The Lehman Russes are 3 commanders with the Vanquishers, 6 with Demolisher cannons. These all have las cannons on the front, and 3 with, or maybe, no, it'd be 6 also with regular battle cannons. Because that's all you need.
See, y'all would think if I did a list that I would probably go along the lines of Brian, knowing how I play most of my armies. But I'm going to counter that. I'm going to do something stupid like John and go like all freaking artillery and template weapons. Just because I am that kind of sadomasochist and want to die very quickly.
I am not going to pretend that any of us who do not regularly play Solar Aux decided to go incredibly tank heavy on this just because it's us.
I have a
Brian,
reason.
15 Lehman Russes. My hat, sir, is off to you.
Yep.
Jack, with the Air Force and the Super Heavy included in there as well.
Now,
I'm just
I would probably see if I could squeeze in an Avenger if that's a possibility, because you can't put them in Marine armies anymore.
Yeah, I
And
thought
it's badass.
I thought
It's the A10 of 40K and 30K.
I could. Yeah.
And I have
See,
two.
now he's just trying to find a way to do that. Thanks,
Um,
thanks, Jamie. We really do appreciate
I
it.
have 2 of them. Like, if you want them, they're half built.
I have 3 of them that are already done.
Yeah, I had the Avenger strike wing for my 1.0 army. So
Avash,
Brian, I think I have you beat on the Lehman Russes.
I have a reason for my madness, and it's because I always love the Death Corps Krieg armored regiments. And for the longest time, there really was no feasible way to do like a pure Lehman Russ tank company until now.
Well,
Yeah.
this monstrosity I created has, I think, 17 Lehman Russes
mother of God.
So
and
I love
80 las rifles.
I was gonna say, like, how do you score with like that army? Is it just kill them all, or
I mean, they can't
Well, I know
score if
my
they're dead.
strategy.
again?
My strategy is the Aurochs is a rapid transport, so you can rush with them and move 18 inches up. The guys have to stay inside, which is fine. And then you play the shell game of I jump out on objectives, and if you come near me, I'm
I
just
jump
going to
back in.
jump back in my transport.
Okay.
And pray to God that my opponent is not smart enough just to kill all my scoring.
Fair enough.
So, what I'm hearing is that we're all ridiculously bad with a treadhead infection. So,
Well,
okay. Avash, I'm just going to ask straight up. I don't mean this in like a rude or anything way. Since you play Ox on a regular basis, how do you build your normal army?
So my normal army kind of a continuation of what I was doing in second edition,
Okay.
where I had nothing but Velatari. Well, I decided, you know what, I don't want to paint 120 more guys because I already
get
have
that.
enough to do.
it's soul crushing. Yes, we know.
So my current list right now is a Legatine command section
Yeah.
with just 5 guys, Inferno Pistol, Thunderhammer, and sabers on everybody with blast pistols. They are my only source of line in the entire army for this list. They just literally go to the first objective, sit on it, score me points.
Okay.
Then I have a armor command section, which is a tank commander with the demo cannon and multi-laser. Just provide a little more punch.
Okay.
My Velatari command section. Funnily enough, I can take a Storm Axe and a Power Fist on the first prime, or sergeant. But I only get to use one, depending on what I need to do.
Okay.
And then just 4 bod standard Volkite chargers. My Apex detachment is another armored command section and another Velatari command section.
All right.
Then, for all my auxiliary detachments, because I'm doing the Velatari Tertio,
Yeah.
I have 2 detachments, 2 auxiliary detachments. One with a 20-man Velatari Storm section with Storm Axes. 12-man Velatari Storm section with Volkite Chargers. And a Dracosan armored transport. Demo Cannon, Multi-Laser, and Flare Shield. Just make everything a little bit more survivable.
No, I get that.
And then I just copy that again. And then I got a third Velatari Tertio with 2 12-man Storm sections. And then finally, to the potatoes of the list, is 3 Lehman Russ assault tanks with plasma. Just to throw 5-inch templates out there and murder Marines. And then this last part is kind of let me try it out, is a allied detachment with a Magos and 2 Tech Priest. With the Macro Tech.
Just to be able to
That'd be
see
cool.
things.
Yes. So what they do is they'll allow the Lehman Russes to shoot at a 1 higher BS. So all my templates are less likely to scatter.
Okay.
But can they also fix them too?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can also give them a sits up invuln as well. I just see Duncan over there just blinking like, what?
He's grinding. I see gears turning. Steam starting to come out the ears.
That just gave me the twitch.
I'm also
Okay.
paying 300 points for that allied
I was
detachment.
gonna say it's got to be really expensive.
Yeah, I would imagine so. All right.
And that's kind of my
Well-
list I've been running around with.
I see there's ridiculous amounts of ways to build Solar Aux, obviously.
The sky's the limit, but I mean, like, how effective is all of it? You know?
Man, honestly, I don't care about how effective it would be, but there's stuff in this that really just kind of tickles my funny bone of the idea of being able to throw hordes and hordes of infantry backed up by. I mean, my list has 4 blocks of lasket rifle sections of 20 each. So, I mean, I'm sitting there with my list. I would be throwing 80 dudes plus the other stuff, plus my command section and the infantry section as well, all onto the table. I'm very interested to see and play against Solar Aux this edition because I think it's going to be fun, and I don't have any idea how many people are going to sit there and go tank heavy or crazy. And I
Fair
think it's a very valid build.
Yeah, my list is the Marshal, because I needed the extra reaction. And then 2 Hermes command sections. Full 6. And then their detachment allows me to take 2 Hermes squads. and the heavy sentinel squad, which can be up to 3 guys, and then that 4 times.
How many
And then-
sentinels do you have in this one?
Is 60 basic sentinels. It doesn't include the 2 command sentinels and their command squads.
Of course not.
And then that does include them. And then 12 heavy sentinels. And then 1 command Russ and 3 line Russes.
So
The downside is you can't deploy all of it, so it's a good thing they get outflanked.
Like you
So
physically can't fit them on the table, is what you're saying, right? Or
Correct.
okay.
So
And in the
taking that
mini
command
games-
rush does not give you line on your regular russes, right?
Correct.
Right. But he gives them the auto repair, so he parks near them.
Okay.
Within 18 inches near.
Yep.
And I have 2 of them with, yeah. So I can kind of
So-
spread out.
You can
So would-
spread them out.
Would one of those? Okay, so say if you took 2 of those command russes, would they each be able to affect all the all the russes if you took 2 armored sections,
Yes.
or would each one have to basically stick with the 1 squadron that he unlocked?
No, it's any armored tertio Russes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, in my few games I have played against Space Marines, one of them was near almost in my favor. But as with anything with Solar Auxilia, you are fighting uphill for every inch.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, you're standard humans on a Space Marine battlefield. It's always been that way.
Well, they're not. Well, I mean, yes, technically they're standard humans, but they're the elite of the standard humans. They're not like
Yeah.
Milita.
Yeah, I mean, but you're always going to be fighting uphill on a battlefield with
Right, versus
Marines
Space Marines, yeah.
and knights and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then the Velitari are the elite of the elite.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they've got the better weapon skill and better ballistic skill.
They actually
But
went
we
to
still
school.
got an AP4.
Okay.
As long as you have AP4, you can deal with Solar Ops Army.
And obviously, we're not anywhere even close to halfway through the unit reviews.
No.
But we
Yeah,
are running
if you
out.
include the legacies, we're about a third of the way through.
Okay.
Because legacies has a crap ton of stuff. But
Okay.
this gives you a
Shall
way
we
to
pause?
build.
Shall we break here tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this gives you a way to understand how to build the army, and then get an understanding of the bonuses that you have to contend with.
Okay.
I may have to contact like Avash and John to walk me through it a bit more because I'm still not there.
No, I get it. I'm not there entirely. I've just built a list that I think seems neat, but
I have one question.
What would that question be?
Do you have to choose a one of those faction rules for the Solar Aux? Like the Ultramarines one or the Death Guard one?
No, it's optional, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to, but if you don't, you're losing the
Something.
advanced reaction.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just get your basic advanced reactions.
Gotcha.
What if you don't believe in advanced reactions?
Yes.
Well,
You're
you
playing.
can be like me and get murdered.
Yeah, I use the Ultramarine one, but I mean nothing is technically Ultramarines themed in the army. Just because I like the free shooting attack from another unit of Sentinels, which is usually the heavy Sentinels.
I'm fairly certain if G.I. Joe were in the 30K universe, they would be. The Ultramarines would be Hiss. So I think you're good.
All
I
right.
don't even know.
Any announcements that we need to make?
Sure.
We're 12 days away from the Texas Open, so get your tickets while you can.
Bama Heresy has their event on the 24th. There's still spots available for it. They're trying to fill out some tables if you're interested in that. I know they'd
That's a
love to
Playground
have
Hobby,
people.
right?
I believe it is.
Cool.
Closer for you, farther for me. But yeah.
And not close enough for me, unfortunately, this time.
Well, I know. I mean, yeah. They're. I think it's only a 1 day, and I'm not gonna say it scared people off. The build totals are a little different than what people are playing right now too. I think another issue that they're having. So
Okay. It's
it's a
2K
little.
only.
Most people are kind of. Most people are set at 3K or trying to build armies for 3K because that's what's kind of being played at the big events. And I think this one, because it was only a 1 day, they're running it. I think it is at 2K if I'm not mistaken.
But
So
also 3K has been the standard for what? The past 10 years? 13 years?
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying that's what's going on right now. I know there's been people that have called and said, "Hey, I want to play, but I've got 3K armies, and that's what I want to play."
No, I get that.
They said to bring them if you've got 3K, and they'll try and pair you up with other people that have got 3K. But there's spots available. Their events are usually really good. Christopher and Blake go out of their way to really do really good prize support. The venue's nice. Everybody that goes, I know Joe's gone to tons of their events from our friend up in Tennessee. Loves them. I know there's an event coming up a little bit after that down in Pensacola too. That's like big, like huge Titan style event coming up. But if y'all are interested, that would be a good event to go to if you're in the deep south.
Well, anybody got anything else to shout out?
January 17th at Far Harbor Gaming in the Grand Rapids area of Michigan. See, January 17th, 5K games. They have I forget what it's through. They've got a online registration thing that you can go through one of the common 40K used
I think
apps or whatever.
that too. They have an app for it as well.
But I've got a link for that on our Discord.
Okay. I do know that there is the Kentucky 30K group is doing an event on Saturday, January the 17th at the Battle Forge in Lexington. I'm not running this one. This one's being run by Brad, who's currently taking over for Keith with the Kentucky 30K group. So there is that. It's in the Kentucky 30K group Facebook page. It's going to be held at the Battle Forge in Lexington. It's a fairly nice place. There's a story to it. I'm not going to go into it too much. I think it's 2 rounds, maybe 3. I'm not really sure. Not sure how many people are coming down to it. We know there's some people up in Ohio who've said they're going to possibly come down. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that one yet or not. Unfortunately, my work right now, we're about to lose someone at work, so it's being passed off to extra people to get extra work, and so my Saturdays for the next few weeks are probably going to be gone.
Hey, we know that feeling. Sorry.
Yeah,
And,
I think we all do, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. Especially having weddings sprung on you the day before you have to go.
Yeah. Also, don't forget, everybody, Adepticon coming up. We ourselves are running some of the Horus Heresy events at Adepticon. Our friends with Ferrix are running the Ferrix events, and we're running the non-Ferrix events. There's an escalation event that I'm running on Thursday. There's the big 4K blow-off event that I'm running on Sunday. Those are both going to be 2-round games, or 2 games for both those 2 events. Jack, you're running one on Thursday as well, right?
Yes, sir. And that's just a laid-back, come have fun.
Also, aren't we doing the podcast thingy too? Are they still doing that?
By podcast thingy, what specifically do you mean? We do a lot of things.
Wasn't there like, didn't they have a podcast host meet and greet type thing
Yep,
last year?
there's a podcast host meet and greet. We'll go up to that as well. We'll also be doing our own meet and greet. Anybody who wants to come say hi and hang out with us at the Adepticon, we'll be down in the Heresy Hall, wherever that Heresy Hall is. And we will again be giving away posters to every single Heresy attendee who comes and plays in any Heresy game. Come get a free poster. We have new stuff. We'll have new art.
A lot of
that
new
on the posters. A lot of new art at the.
Some of it's it's all awesome, but there's some standouts.
Yes.
And your T minus by the time you hear this,
like 80 some odd days, 82 or something
79.
like that.
6 days away from the cart going live.
Yeah.
Yep. So we appreciate everybody who does anything. We appreciate everybody who jumps in our events, or people who don't. People who just come up and show up and say hello. We appreciate you as well.
Some of us that, I don't think it's official yet for me, but I'm trying to lock it down this week. I will bring extra armies if people need stuff too. So
cool. Well, I think that's about sums everything up for tonight. Am I right?
Yep. So I think it's time for John.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us on the 154th episode of the Heresy Accountabilibuddies Podcast. I'm John, and I've been joined by
Brian,
Duncan,
Jack,
and Jamie,
and special guest
Avash.
And we thank you for joining us tonight. See if we're going to continue these guys or go back to Legions next week. But always remember to stay accountable to yourselves, to your buddies, and your hobby. And have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Like and subscribe, and see ya.